On April 15, 2016, Josh Robin tweeted, "More Hillary Clinton in East Harlem," along with this very, very famous photo. This is the Museum of Twitter, the show we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. Sometimes I learn that a famous photo that I assumed was originally posted on Instagram, or maybe even on a news site, was posted on Twitter, which means I get to cover it on this show. And I just recently found out that this famous photo of Hillary Clinton looking confused as hell in a kitchen started from just this one tweet that in itself only has a couple hundred retweets, but has lasted and lasted. Like, it actually is kind of insane how this photo from the Democratic primary season of 2016 still is a very common meme. Like in 2022, Drew Savicki responded to the post, so is where the meme originated. But even since then, the meme has still been popular. A lot of my examples, because Twitter search is broken and heavily favors newer tweets, are newer tweets. But let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the photo and why it's so funny. For one, I think it first became viral when it happened because during the 2016 primary season, so much of it was about Hillary Clinton being out of touch, being rich, not understanding regular working people. And so a lot of the responses had this tone, like, "I will never forget the look on Hillary's face when she went into the home of a working class family." And that certainly is a way to look at it, and I think the photo does speak 1,000 words if that is what you're looking into it for. And to be clear, I voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016. I was not a Hillary supporter. But a thing that was pointed out, like, one of the first times I saw this photo, and I can't unsee it, and it's why I don't actually think that she's reacting to be like, "Oh my god, this person's so poor," is I think she's just looking at the fact that this person has gigantic plants in their sink. Like, if you immediately zone in on Hillary and that's what you're looking at, I can understand how maybe you miss it. But if you look at this kitchen as a whole, it is insane how much real estate is taken up by these plants. This is a tiny, tiny kitchen, and obviously they have to use the sink. So you probably have to wonder, like, why are these plants in here, and why are they in the sink? I know someone's gonna be like, "Jake, you don't have to defend Hillary Clinton." And it's like, I'm not defending Hillary Clinton. I'm actually defending myself, because I know if I were to walk into this apartment, I would certainly make a face like, "Whoa, those are big plants." But anyway, like I said, because it fit in with the image that was being discussed of Hillary Clinton, it became a huge meme. One of the first ways it became a meme is by photoshopping her looking confused into other places. Like, a big one on r/Photoshop battles was this, where they photoshopped her behind Ben Carson during that one time where he didn't come out on time for a debate, even though they were calling his name. And then she was photoshopped to be dressed as a cleaning lady and have cleaning supplies. But eventually, after the dust of the 2016 primary settled, I kid, the dust of a 2016 Democratic primary has never settled, unfortunately, but after it became, like, not the topic of the day, this image just came to represent being surprised by something, being out of place, oftentimes in the context of a rich person encountering poor people. Like when Taylor Swift was slated to go to her first Buffalo Bills game, Matt Lane tweeted it with Taylor Swift watching the drunkest human she's ever seen jumping through flaming tables in Buffalo next week. Or in 2023, Allison Herman tweeted Gwyneth walking into Target for the Goop collab, because, you know, Goop had a collaboration with Target, and the idea is, like, she'd be shocked by a Target. It's been used to make fun of politicians across the pond. Louis Staples tweeted, "The Sunaks moving from their multi-million-pound mansions into the Downing Street flat Kerry decorated." And people have used it to describe their own situations, like in March of 2023, Robbie Couch tweeted, "Me leaving my bedroom for the first time in a week." It can be applied in a digital sense, like New Liberals tweeted it with opening up Twitter after spending all afternoon in meetings. I believe he was referencing the fact that this was the day that Elon tweeted a bunch of bad things about Trump, and nothing came of it. Jill Gutowitz used the face and pose to describe regret. She tweeted, "Me sing the first song I ever streamed on Spotify," when they were offering that. And Janelle Como on Threads used it to describe her French husband saying, "My French husband watching me take a McCain Deep and Delicious out of the freezer for dessert." This one really does work, because I would imagine a French guy being offended at his American wife pulling something out of the freezer to eat for dessert. Like, this face does match. And a funny double use of it in the sports world was when North Dakota State joined the Mountain West Conference, which also has Hawaii. Ben Stevens tweeted, "North Dakota State showing up to Honolulu for a 10:59 p.m. CT kick for a conference game in October with Hillary." And College Football Zone quoted that, again with Hillary, saying, "Hawaii showing up to North Dakota in November when it's 1 degree out." That is a situation where the face works both times. I do think, again, that it's really funny that this meme became a meme because it said something very specific about the person in the photo, but then I think people just liked the photo so much that it became a meme to describe lots of other things. As old as it makes me feel to say it, I'm sure that there are people who were like 6 years old when the 2016 primary happened who have used this meme. And maybe they picked up through osmosis that the point of the meme was to make fun of Hillary Clinton for being out of touch, but probably they just know it as like, man, she really looks confused, and a little judgmental even. So yeah, like I said, I was extremely delighted to find out that this started on Twitter. This is just the Twitter account of a guy who's a producer for Spectrum News, the local news in New York City. Like, I don't think he thought that this would become a huge meme, but that's why you gotta be there in a cramped kitchen in East Harlem, New York. And by the way, I think a lot of people would like to think that, like, oh, her disdain for the size of this kitchen would have had a lot of backlash. But unfortunately, I did look it up, and Manhattan was the third best county in the entire state for Hillary. Like, she won in a landslide there. So, like, I actually don't think this hurt her. Just as an aside, nothing to do with Twitter, looking at a map of how much Hillary dominated in the primary in New York City proper compared to what New York City politics look like now is really insane. It's kind of a good example of how quickly things in politics can change, because, like, other than Staten Island, Hillary got over 60% in every single borough, and now the mayor of New York is a DSA member from where I live. And I bet if you went back to 2016 and told Hillary this would be her reaction. Follow me for new tweet every day, and if you'd like the show, please go to patreon.com/museum of Twitter, where I just introduced a new tier if you want to give your support. But no matter what you do, you get a weekly bonus episode with Museum of Not Twitter, and you get to vote on my cover on Subscriber Sundays.